back with another episode. This week, I'm so excited. This is probably one of my second favorite topics, but we're talking about friendships. Like, let's talk about it and like just the discerning of spirits and how who you hang around matters.
That's so good because we've come a long way with friendship.
So I guess I want to like start off like in a, I guess like an interesting way. Like, what's one of like the worst friendships you've been in that God has like seen? Like, you've seen the other side of like, no, this isn't my best friend anymore, or this isn't a friend. I guess because we all have those friends we thought were gonna be lifetime friends.
I literally grew close to somebody that I wanted to call a brother. It was very close to me. Lived with me for a long time. I thought this was gonna be my best friend, like my best man, everything. And I've noticed whenever we got back together, and I've noticed the life that I wanted to live through Christ. What he was bringing into my life was nothing but the enemy's ways, and I knew that if I stayed in this friendship the way it is, nothing good comes from it.
Yeah.
Nothing will help me because it's not, he wasn't helping me be a better man and a better husband or any way. He's not pouring into me at all. So
it was more like opposition.
Right. And it was always something because back in the day, I had him, friends just in general would always be like, oh, you simp. Like, oh, what you do? And that made me, because in high school and stuff, I was a follower. At the end of the day, I follow everybody. Whatever they said, I was like thinking about it. I'm like, oh yeah, well,
am I a simp?
Right, because it's my friends, you know. Like, I'm young-minded. I didn't know nothing about God. I didn't know His ways. I was just dumb.
Yeah.
And I would live by that. I was following, and they always would make me turn on her in a way whenever. That was my everything.
Yeah. And it's so crazy because, like, sorry to cut you off there. But we don't realize how the enemy also uses people that we love.
That's so good.
So much because it's like these are the people that you love and like you want to trust so bad. But it's like, look how hard the enemy was fighting. Like what's today.
Yeah.
You know, like now I'm his wife and everything, and we have this beautiful life together and stuff. But had he listened to those people that he loved so much, or these friends that he thought wanted what was best for him and stuff, like.
We wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's what the enemy will do.
Yeah.
You know, he'll come through, like she said, he will come through the ones you love the most, literally, to try to destroy you.
Yeah.
Like,
literally.
I loved him. Like, I still do love him.
Yeah.
I do. And I want what's best for him. I just want to see him better. All my old friends, my family, my brother especially, I want to see what's best for them. But they just don't want it.
And you can't want it for them because that's another thing. Like God says, like you can bring me to like people and everything, but it's like God's a gentleman. So it's like I can't force God onto you. If that's not what you want. Like I'm gonna show you what God did for me. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what He did for me. But if you don't want that, I can't change that for you.
Yeah.
Like that's not what God wants me to do. That's not my job. It's not my job to convict you on the things that you're doing and everything. But I can just show you. Better, you know? And
then now, so I'm going to speak on my now friends. What really opened my eyes was two people. Brent.
It's so surreal.
Brent and Brett. Shout out Mere Money and shout out Brett.
Oh, my God.
I love y'all. Literally, like, we are brothers in Christ. And now I see what true friendship is through Christ. Like, they pour into me so much. It's ridiculous. And I know they tell me all the time, like, how great I am. And they're learning so much from me. And it's like, that's so amazing to hear. Like, you don't hear that stuff back then. You just hear that you're a loser. You're, you know, you're a simp.
You're a simp.
Such a big difference, too. Like, whenever you're feeling like a true, like,
genuine.
Yes,
it's not one-sided.
Yes, but also godly relationship and friendship. And you know that Jesus has laid His hands on these friendships. It's a completely different feeling.
Yeah. It's not draining. And I remember like just being in a friendship, and I feel like growing up, we felt like, I guess for me, I just felt like in order to be important or in order to be like valuable, like going through middle school and high school, like you needed all the friends in the world. Yep. And I remember I was just like searching for friends. And like, I remember I had this one friendship and it was so one-sided because it's like, God, I'm doing all these things. Like, I'm so happy for them. And, like, when it comes to me, like, you're not supporting me. Yeah. Like, you can't tell me happy birthday or post me for my birthday. Like, I'm I'm sorry, but those things matter. Like if you can't tell, like if you can post everybody else and you can't post your best friend happy birthday, then like you don't like me. If you can't like comment, I'm so proud of you, or let them know, then you're not proud. Like you have something against me, you know?
That's the biggest thing too, because it's like we don't see things like that until like it's just like
you're on the other side.
Yes, there in our face, and it's like now we see like the complete difference too. But it's like God always told us like we were sorry. God always told us like we were missing something from the friendships that we had beforehand.
Yeah.
Now it's like the friendships that we have now, and truth be told, we were in that waiting season for so long because it's like we'd pray about it over and over again. Like we kind of just accepted the fact that like, okay, it's just gonna be us, because I'd rather it be just us and we're each other's best friends, like pouring into each other, than us sacrificing that to be around people that aren't on the same path or don't want the same things.
Yeah.
So I think that was definitely a journey for us, but being on the other side of it and having a complete like different and better outcome is just like worth the wait for sure. But for me, my friendships, I've never really had like a best friend, because like in high school and stuff, I mean, I guess I was a follower too, but not necessarily like, I'm gonna be real, I just didn't care. Like I've always just been who I am.
Yeah.
And it's like take me or leave me.
Yeah.
Invite me or don't. Like whatever.
Why she posted so much?
Yes. And it's like I always had somebody hating on me, and I never knew why. Like I would just be like, I'm gonna be real. I went to a predominantly white school, so it's like I'm like one of the only black girls, but it's like I didn't see it then, but it's like the friendships that I did have, like most of them were like acting out of like jealousy and stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, and I didn't even think, that's what I told Cullen. I was like, I didn't even think about that at the time, just because it's like, I didn't think I was, like I knew I was pretty, but it's like, I didn't think I was necessarily like they're pretty, or like I didn't think we were like battling the same things, or this girl would hate me, and we're not even in the same like
caliber.
Yeah.
Literally,
and I'm like, I would never think of stuff like that, but it was so like evident, especially looking back now, because like it's still like those same girls where it's like I thought this was my best friend and it wasn't, and the red flags were there in high school and everything, because like I remember me and Cullen were getting like very close, and this same girl went tell him like all kind of stuff about me and everything.
Your
I'm
best
like,
friend?
I remember that.
Yes.
Oh wow.
I called her my best friend, and to this day, like I'm pretty sure like she still hates me, but it's I truthfully, I really couldn't tell you why or why it would be hate, but I know that God calls me to be different and to love different. So it's like I don't feel any of that in my heart, and I know it's just of the enemy, and I know the devil's just telling you whatever he wants to tell you. Like, and mostly it's from jealousy and bitterness. But yeah, she went to tell Cullen all kinds of stuff, and it's like it was even becoming a problem where it's like she was just trying to like get herself like in there, and like she was like, whenever we had broke up that one time, like she'd bring friends and stuff to like be with him, like
wow.
like y'all be together, and I'm like, that was not my friend like this whole time, but it's like, what was it for? It was from jealousy and bitterness and stuff. And then I've also seen like a different kind of where it's like just not being supportive and stuff, or you know, I wouldn't necessarily know where it was coming from, but I remember I did have one of those best friends where it's like, okay, I thought you were going to be a part of my life for the rest of my life. Like, right, you're around my family. My family thinks you're family. My family thinks everybody I bring around is family, but I don't bring around too many people.
Like, what they doing? What they up to?
Yes, and it's like, it's not necessarily awkward, because like she's still to this day, she's like, oh, I seen such and such went do this. And I'm like, okay, Mimo, like
Mimo.
Awesome. Like, yeah, because mostly it's my Mimo. My Mimo is basically like my mama, you could say. But anyways, so it's like I had those relationships where it's like, this is my best friend. Like, I've never loved anybody like this besides my man. Like, we're doing everything together. We lived in a room together. Like, you know, we're doing all of the things together. But God started calling me to see what was what, because it's like, every time I hung out with them, like cursing up a storm, that person would want to watch Baddies, Southwest Baddies or something. Baddies of LA or something. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like a Bad Girls Club or something like that. But it wasn't necessarily a good show. Every single time like we'd hang out or like she'd come around, she'd be telling me stuff like, oh, did you hear what this person said about you? Blah blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Colin, I don't feel good about this relationship anymore. Like, so it's just like I was still being cordial, but I just kind of like drifted.
Yeah.
In a way, because I just noticed like this isn't the kind of friendship that I want. Like, it shouldn't feel like this. And I started to feel like left out with her and like another friend that I thought like was my best friend as well. And it's like God wouldn't give me these feelings. Like, I would watch like a Snapchat story or something. I'd be like, why they didn't invite me? Like, well, what did I do? Or like, you know, so it would just kind of hurt. And I'm just like, those things, like, God wouldn't even call them to treat me that way, for sure. Like, but anyways.
Yeah. And I feel like friendship breakup, I feel like it's harder than an actual breakup. I don't know why. It's just like, it is so hard to lose someone like you thought would be there throughout your whole life. Because it's like a best friend is like, of course, like your husband comes first, you know, your boyfriend. But it's like whenever you don't have that and like you have that.
In a different season, I 100% get it, honestly. Especially because like whenever Cullen wasn't there, that was my best friend. You could say Cullen. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that was my everything. So it's like, of course, I didn't want it to look like either like, okay, like now I have Cullen, like, okay, go ahead, girl. Like, I don't care about you anymore and stuff like that. And I pray that it was never received that way. But in a sense, like, she was becoming in the same season as well. Yeah. So then it was... We just had to throw our hands up for that one for sure. But it's not out of hate or anything. Yeah. It's out of pure love. And it's just like, you're on this path and I'm on this one. Now, if you end up coming on this path, like, come on. Like, you know, I love you, you know. Because I'm not going to lie, like, lately, like, God has been putting it on my heart. But it's just like, he's still not telling me just yet to, like, reach out. Like, everything's, like, all whoop-de-doo in cahoots again.
Right. Yeah. I feel the same way, too. Like, if we're on this path, they want to swing to this path, like, come on, because I still love you, and I still
There's no animosity, you know?
Right.
Yes.
I want to help you as much as I can, literally. Like, I want to show you the life that God is calling you to live, this true peace, because you're not living that right now. You're just partying still. You're doing full of sin. Like, I'm not going to go on your path.
Yeah.
So.
But it's
go
ahead.
I was gonna say, and like, how do you like discern that? Like, whenever you like make friends, like I guess like discerning that in our friendships, and like it's not just like a person I just want something for you. Like they're actual genuine friends.
I think you can feel it, and I think discernment is so real because it's like it just feels completely different. Like whenever you're saying like they won't comment on posts or anything. I remember like even family wise too. Like it's like I wouldn't notice things like that because like. We do social media and everything, but it's like, nah, you're being like,
weird.
You're doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
Like,
you know. Like,
yes,
you just know. You feel
yes. It. Like you're feeling something in your heart to where it's like, cause I remember one of them had even brought it up where it's like, I'm gonna do a YouTube channel. Like everybody keeps telling us we need to do one, and I'm like, okay, go ahead, go for it. But it wasn't in a way where it's like, no, this is truly my dream and this is what I want to do. No, it was in a way like, oh, well, we don't even do social media. But I guess we'll do it because everybody keeps telling us to do it and everybody keeps commenting this and that. Yes. And it was just like, no. It's just like, it didn't feel right. It's like you can feel and it just feels weird. Where it's like, okay, I'm not comfortable around you anymore. Or like something is just like, bringing up like red flags or like ding, ding, ding.
You're jealous.
Yes. Whereas whenever you're around like genuineness and you're around people with like-mindedness and everything is just a completely different feeling.
You walk in a room and it feels at peace. When you walk in the room with somebody I was just talking about you 3 minutes ago, you feel it. You know.
Or it's like not awkward to do the things that you think are important.
Yeah.
Basically like the Bible studies and everything. Like that should
That was like so much fun.
No, literally. That should definitely be something that's like happening in your friendships and everything, especially if that's what you're aligning with your life and everything.
Yeah.
That should be the normal.
Yeah. And I'm a big believer in like who you hang around is who you become.
Oh yeah.
Because I have like so many my mom used to always tell me this, like Jesus had the 12, but like he also had like the 3, you know? And so it's like you can have 3, 12, 24. So I have 24
Yeah,
big
like,
group of 24 friends.
He
Y'all
sat with sinners and he ate with them, but
exactly.
he didn't dwell with them.
Exactly.
He's
And it's
not
like I can have these friends on the outside. I'm not gonna sit here and hang out with you every single day, but like you're an acquaintance, you're a friend. And then I have my 12. You may get invited to my birthday.
Yep.
You're the 12th friend. And then I have like my intimate friend group. That's who I do life with. And I feel like so many people try to mix all of them. And when you mix all of them, it's just chaos. Because then you got these friends who don't want nothing to do with Jesus. You're hanging out with them 24/7. And then you're
now
like,
you don't want nothing to do with
exactly.
Jesus.
It's like, should I go to church?
You're a product of your environment.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And it gets really bad when they start downplaying God. Like,
yeah.
Why do you need him? Or, bro, you go to church every like, oh, dude, I couldn't even. There's no way. Church is so boring. It's kind of like, and then it makes you think like, oh yeah, church is kind of boring. Huh?
Yeah.
Like, oh no, that's nothing but the enemy, and that's why you just got to get away from it sometimes.
Yeah.
It's the best thing for you.
You want healthy relationships
Yeah.
that pour into you and bring you closer to God.
Yeah.
Not away from him.
Yeah. And like Cullen, I do want to talk about like, I just want to, because it's like so popular in our generation to talk about like you're a simp, like doing things, loving your woman is sinful or whatever it is, you know?
It's ridiculous. Like, because like I even at work, I work with a little guy. He's about to be a senior. And
oh, wow.
Yeah. And then one of his friends called him, hey, I'm single. And like, they were so excited and stuff. I'm like, I used to be that way too. And it kind of brought to life, like, I couldn't do that now. Like, I want somebody I'm going to call whenever I'm like, hey, like, me and Lexi just broke up. And like, I want that guy to come to me and comfort me.
And lead
like,
you back to her.
Right.
Though. Like,
what can I do to help y'all get back together? Because I see how happy y'all are together. Like, what can I do?
Yeah.
You know, and it was never that in the past. It was like, we break up, oh, let's go. I got you all to myself now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. And my eyes finally opened to that. And
yeah.
You know.
And it's like you need that support, that emotional support around you for things like that as well. Like, of course, like that's not all we rely on because like we wouldn't be here today if that's all we had because we didn't have anybody necessarily on our team or pouring back into us saying like, oh yeah, like y'all be together and stuff. It was at one point where we were being told so much like, oh, y'all are spending too much time together. So maybe that's why y'all are fighting. Y'all need to stop spending so much time together. And like we really believed it at one point. We were literally like telling each other that in our arguments and stuff. Like
everybody
we spend too much time together.
Yeah, we spend too much time together. So, but it's like if I wanted to be married to this man, like that's what should be happening.
Yeah.
I should be spending that time with you. I should be getting to know you. We should be arguing because you know, we got to go through those things.
Yeah.
But it's like that was the main reminder. We definitely have to tell like younger couples too. It's just that you're not fighting against each other. Y'all fighting as a team against the enemy. Because that is definitely like one of the hardest seasons we went through. And especially going through it without the support around us. Like I didn't really like have those friends to be like, hey, like, yeah, like maybe do this or like give me like godly advice. I had those same friends like he did. Like, oh, yeah, girl, like, let's go out. Let's go to the club now.
Literally.
And I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let me get my mind off of him. Like, I remember graduation party.
Oh,
oh my gosh. You want to talk about this or no?
You talking about what graduation party is? Seeing sunrise.
Your graduation party. He had a graduation party. And
he said, oh.
And we were like, we weren't together, but like we were on the verge of like getting back together. So I had brought my family there and everything, but I had found out some news that same day and it really like hurt and everything. But of course, those friends that I had are like, we going to the club. Like it's graduation and everything. Like forget about him, blah, blah, blah. So like that was the point in time where it's like, I'm in the club, like, I want to shake my booty. I want to go have some drinks. I thought that was cool. I'm at the bar. They're telling me, like, oh, go hang out with this guy. Like, get his number. Like, oh, girl, he wants to hang out with you. Like, let's go to his house after and stuff like that. And it's like, I literally just found out this news, like, about him and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, we just broke up. Like, and it's like, that's not good for neither one of us. Meanwhile, he has his people on his end telling him, forget her.
Forget her. Let her go. She at the club. Oh, then you got to just go with this girl.
Yeah.
Or, you was talking to this girl. Oh, yeah. 100%.
That was so bad.
Yeah, it was just horrible. the life that we used to live. It was crazy.
Literally, that's so like in the world too. So I think worldly friendships, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Worldly friendships aren't beneficial at all. And I know it's hard because, like I said, the enemy definitely uses the people that you love the most, but it's a sacrifice that you just have to make and take.
Yeah.
For sure. Like you just gotta let them go. You
Yeah.
gotta cut it off. You gotta cut those bad seeds off because having that all on you and around you is not gonna lead you closer to God. It's not gonna help you bear fruit, and it's not gonna help you live out His plan for your life.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we wouldn't be where we're at now or living the fruitful life that we live now if we did cling to all of those friends or those lives and everything. Now they watch us and they're seeing like,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, like, how do I get like that? Or like,
Right.
you know, they're low-key taking like inspiration and stuff, you know, and trying to change their own lives.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what God wants, full circle.
Yeah.
Right, baby.
And it is lonely. Can we talk about
Oh,
the
yeah, the
loneliness?
lonely
Because y'all walked
season.
through that
Oh,
for
yeah.
a little while.
For sure. And I could definitely say the biggest thing, especially because I'm a girl, it would always be like, oh, I want friends. Like, why we don't have any friends? Or it's like,
Yeah.
dang, like, I wish we can, like, invite people over for, like, stuff like this. Or,
Yeah.
dang, like, I wish I had a best friend to, like, call and, like, I can go get my nails done with her or something like that. And for him, it would just be like, oh, dang, like, I need a bro, like, something, you
Like,
know?
I need to go play golf with my best friend. Or
Yeah.
something like that. You know?
Literally. But it's like, honestly, you just need the support, honestly.
Yeah.
But
That's what it is.
what helped us is just literally, like, clinging and trusting in God because, like I said, this was a prayer we prayed so much. And it's just like you generally just have to trust Him and trust His plan because if we didn't, we wouldn't be here today. Like I keep saying, you know, like now we have friends and everything, but we had to wait for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say embrace the season that you're in because one day it's gonna come. And I know there's plenty of people like that where it's like, you know, I had bad friends, I had to cut them off, you know, so now I'm just like by myself, but I really want some support or I really want friends around and stuff like that. Just embrace the season. You know, like feel that alone time. Like sometimes God will place you in that season of isolation to better you and to, you know, build you up and armor you up for the time that's going to be coming.
Yeah.
You know, because like we prayed over and over and over again, God, we want some friends, like, you know, and clearly it just wasn't in His timing. We had like, what, a year or two without friends?
Yeah, it's crazy because I swear to y'all, like, this is being serious. I even talked to her about that. Like, I didn't think I was going to ever have, like, a best friend again besides her. Like, I generally just thought that was it for me. You know, I lost the friends that I had because they wanted to choose different paths. But I didn't even pray at first about it. Like, I just accepted the fact that I was not going to have a best friend to call a best friend, you know. And then she met you guys through the podcast, the first ever podcast we did.
Which I think was completely God.
Right, and I've seen how much of a miracle it was because she prayed for friends and stuff. And I'm like, okay, maybe I should start praying about it. Prayed about it. 2 weeks later, boom, sent me my best friend.
And it's so crazy to think about, too, because we're literally in the car. And I was telling him because, like, Cullen, like, sometimes, like, we don't, like, fully examine situations beforehand. And I'll be, like, telling him, like, oh, my gosh, like, this person is, like, this and this and that, like, blah, blah, blah. So, like, I'm telling him, like, I think she's just like me, Cullen. Like, what if they become our friends and everything?
I
Like,
know.
we're literally, I'm like, Cullen, but I'm, like, super nervous because that was one thing, like, about us, too. Like, we don't put ourselves, like,
out
we put
there.
ourselves out there, but, like, we don't put ourselves out
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Like, whenever it comes down to it and, like, it's time to get in the same room and everything, that's not really, like, something that we do.
Yeah.
So it's like I was praying really hard. I'm like, God, help me, don't mess this up. Like, don't let us walk in there and just, like, not have anything to say. And then it's so crazy to think.
just
because,
clicked.
Yes. Because I was
Seriously.
like, God, just give me the words. Like, you know, like, I literally just be hitting, like, brick walls here where it's like I don't be knowing what to say or anything. And it's like one thing about it, Shay, for sure, where it was just like, oh, my gosh, like, she just made us feel, like, at home. So it's like, okay, you know, we're here. This is meant to be. This feels pretty right. And then it just went from there. And it's just like it kept building and building and building. And then, of course, like, we're twins. So it's like we literally have everything to talk about in the world. Like, Cullen, she's literally me.
And then on the podcast, too, we was talking about that you had a boyfriend or somebody that you was talking to, a guy.
And then he meets.
And then I meet the guy, and then boom.
That's so
everything.
crazy.
Yeah, we weren't even
everything-
dating at the time.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, it's crazy. Like, it's all in God's timing. So it's like, truly trusting him and like embracing those seasons and stuff, like it's gonna come.
And I'm like, I always think about it because I remember the day like I text you and I was like, whatever, you know. I'm like, Shay, wait, they're coming on the podcast.
That's
and then
another
like
thing, like whenever you just like give it to him, like you just not necessarily not care about it anymore. That's just whenever he delivers, like every time. Truly. That's so crazy.
But yeah, guys, we love you guys, and this was such a good episode. Well, bye, guys. See y'all with another episode.
Bye.